welcome to the first episode of the Create Africa podcast. You are so welcome. You're welcome. Yes. It's been a long time coming. So, welcome to the Create Africa podcast, people, where we are redefining creativity and Africa's future. We explore the untapped potential of Africa and its diaspora. I'm your host, Frank Wesley. I'm going to be your host, Frank Wesley, or Frank Wesley Africa, or Chifu. If you know me by my Ugandan name, I am Ugandan, a British Ugandan, as you can hear. Through this podcast, we will embark on a journey of discovery. So, grab your favorite beverage, grab yourself a snack, sit back, settle down, and let's delve into the potential for Africa's future, shall we? Let's go. So, picture this. It's the late 19th century and the European powers are carving up Africa in a frenzy known as the Scramble for Africa, right?
Imagine a continent rich in resources, its vast lands brimming with untapped potential. This was Africa in the late 19th century. A place that caught the eyes of ambitious European powers eager to claim its wealth. The race to control Africa was intensifying and tensions were high. In 1884, German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck called for a meeting in Berlin. His goal? To bring together the major European powers and establish a set of rules for dividing Africa among them. This meeting, known as the Berlin Conference, wasn't about fairness or justice. In fact, it was about something far more sinister. Not a single African leader was invited to the table. The fate of entire nations and their resources was decided without their consent, with little thought given to the people who actually lived there. Borders were drawn on maps by men who had never stepped foot on African soil, slicing through communities and cultures without regard. This arbitrary division of Africa set the stage for colonization, exploitation, and a dark era of imperialism. The scars left by the Berlin Conference are still visible today as Africa continues to deal with the consequences of decisions made in a room half a world away. This is the story of how a continent's future was shaped, not by its own people, but by those who saw only its riches.
So forward to today, and we find ourselves in the midst of a second scramble for Africa. This time, it's not just about the natural rich mineral resources that power modern technology, lithium for batteries, all the technological elements that we need for a mobile phone, this recorder for microphones, for laptops, computers, projectors, solar panels, all this smart tech that is coming out and all the tech that is yet to be discovered and played around with and made mainstream. We need minerals to power this tech. It's also about the human resources and the human capacity, the people themselves, the individuals, our brothers and sisters, our families and friends, right? It's about the individuals on the continent. As the African diaspora, we need to recognize the times we are in and the plans being made for our continent and respective countries, right? So I bring that to our attention and add it into the recipe for this show because the first scramble for Africa at the Berlin Conference laid into motion the foundations for the future of Africa's economic stability or economic freedom or lack of it thereof, right?